Yo, welcome to an HYTOPIA stream. And today I'm joined by Hercules, which is a massive whale and passionate community member. Can you hear me, man?
I can hear you. Thanks for having me.
Yo, man. Do you want to play some games together, or just talk HYTOPIA?
Whatever you want to do, man. You want to talk for a little bit, and then we can jump in, play some games. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. So you're in the ecosystem for quite some time, right? We've been here for some years.
Probably fair to say.
Yeah, recently the traction is definitely skyrocketing, I think. So I can pull up the stats.hytopia page real quick. So I can go right here. Maybe zoom in a bit. So we have, over 300,000 monthly active players, which is crazy. I mean, this is we can see it here, 2,000% increase from the previous month. So definitely cool to see the traction, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, the growth is great. And if you go to hytopia.com/games right now and you look at it, I mean, it's pretty impressive to see, the top kind of 5 to 6 games all average 20 to 50, and then kind of top concurrent games when things are really peaking out 100, 200 concurrent users. It's nice. It's very telling of the work that the teams kind of put in, and then on the subsequent side of all the developers who have continued to kind of stick around to build things, thinking that greener pastures would come. So it's just really nice to see.
Yeah, man. And I think you're kind of involved in this Voxfire game as well, right? So this one is one of the top games.
Yeah, Voxfire is a Neural Pixel studio. We had made the original Voxfire as a little bit more of a competitive FPS shooter, and it wasn't necessarily latching on as well, right? The reason we wanted to do it was, a bigger thing for the platform was kind of a cold start issue, right? There wasn't just as many players, so it's not as fun to go into a lobby if there's no actual players, right? But just as much, right, as people want cracked action. If you're playing a shooter game, you just kind of want to jump in and you want to be shooting and you want to be actively involved. And so that's kind of why we spun up the deathmatch, and it's proved to perform pretty well, right? I think people really enjoy it. And of course there's some additional stuff that we can add, and we're going to be adding from mobile optimizations to kind of all these other things, just to make it a little bit more mobile friendly, but also make it a little bit more sticky and retention filled, right? So I mean, that'll be coming later on, but yeah, that's one of the games that we spun up there.
Yeah, man. So here's the player graph from the Voxfire deathmatch, and I look at the daily spikes. So at around 2 p.m. European time, which would be 8 a.m. Eastern, there's the most traffic. Not sure what this is. Probably it's evening time in the Philippines.
Yeah, no, I mean, many of the charts kind of resemble a similar thing, and I think it's great, right? Like it'd be amazing if Foxfire takes off, right? We wanted to be able to have kind of an FPS shooter out there for people who enjoy those games. But again, the beauty of HYTOPIA, right, and for anybody who's involved, is that we just want to see the platform succeed, right? I think that if you're a game developer, right, monetization is going to be coming soon. The ability to, finally earn some money off of this platform, which is massive, right? I think if you're a developer, right, you can't be here if you can't not earn money, right? Like everybody's got to make a living. But again, all things towards a greater good, right? Which is, hey, if you can have your game pops off, or if somebody else's game pops off, right? That's really all we want to see for HYTOPIA as a platform. So, just as much as, we'd love to have the number one game, I think that it's all for kind of the concurrent, mind share of like, hey, we just want to see HYTOPIA platform succeed and succeed in a massive way, right? And, just like you pull up those numbers before, having, 20 to 30K players a day, having, in a month or whatever, 2,000% player growth, right? These are the things that as a platform you want to see, right? If you're just a game developer, I think things are finally moving in a position where you would maybe dip your toes into it, right? And, there's a lot of competition out there, but, 85-15 split's pretty dang good, right? The ability to have, some pull into the marketplace is really, again, really good. But yeah, on the other side, right? If you're, not to talk about an investor side, but these are the numbers you want to see, right? If you're going to look at a gaming project or somewhere that you might want to put some of your, capital, again, this isn't financial advice, but this is the stuff you want to see. You don't see this, especially in the, the crypto native landscape, right? Where people are getting rug pulled and shilled every day and there's no reason to hold, right? This is a platform that remains at its infancy, right? This was really after a couple iterations that were tested and just weren't going to work out, right? Changes need to be made. And that's kind of what they did. And, a year ago, they were like, hey, this is the direction that we go. We know that if people can spin up games a little bit quicker, if we can find some good game loops, if we can build it on the browser, if we can really attract mobile, right? There's all these different statistical figures that play into it, which is the growth and adoption is really skewed upward, and that's what they've done. And that's kind of where we are. So it's super, super fun to see it finally play out in a way that makes it, I guess, the theory come to truth. Right. And it's just, yeah, that's all I got to say. I don't know. It's a good time. It's a good time to be able to look at the numbers, be able to look at the platform, right? A team that's not necessarily shilling anything for the sake of shilling, right? All they're doing is posting the numbers. And you're seeing it live, right? And if you aren't a believer, I think that at some point in the near coming months, you're going to be forced to become a believer, right? We're building more games as a studio at NeuroPixel. I know that, the Yeehaw Studios is growing. I'm sure that, you've got your own stuff going on. There's a lot of new developers coming. The growth is going to be literally astronomical. And I don't think that as a project, you'll be able to look anywhere else and be like, these guys are imposters, right? This is the real deal and it's unfolding in real time.
Yeah, man, that are definitely numbers we want to see. We have a comment here from Twitch. So this stream is cross streamed to X, YouTube, and Twitch. And yeah, what is this yapping, bro?
Oh, me? Yeah, no, just out here yapping, pretending to be a game developer and just trying to help proliferate HYTOPIA. So yeah. I mean, if he don't want to hear it, we can, of course, jump in and play. But no, I mean, that's the brief synopsis, right? I just think that everybody's kind of come into a place where like they're tired of fake things without real products. And HYTOPIA is finally at a place where there's a ton of stuff being delivered, right? On the base app now, tokens out. Now it's just time to really proliferate and turn this into kind of the future gaming platform of the world, which is how I've continued to see it, and why I've continued to support it for so many years. Yeah, I think I can see the comment there, right? We need less AI for growth. I don't think it's a bad thing, right? People will use AI, leverage it, or people who won't, right? And yeah,
and I know NeuroPixel used a lot of AI for game development on Voxfire for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know developers who don't use AI, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? And I know developers who use AI and they're highly efficient with it, right? And again, outside of the gaming market, right? Eventually you're going to go to work. And if you can't do the job of 10 people integrating AI, I guarantee you don't get that job. Again, I'm not for or against it. If it hurts somebody's feeling to say AI, just leave it out, right? But I can tell you right now, it's a pretty efficient tool. If you look at like Gemini 3 that just came out and all this stuff, there's all these mega viral posts. People are curious about it, right? Whatever way you want to skin that sheep, people are curious about how AI can make them more efficient, right? So yeah, it's the reality, right? AI is not going anywhere. AI will continue to grow, whether or not you like it or don't like it, completely opinion based. And I think that that's absolutely great, right? Don't like it, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty insane how fast you can finish some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the reality for game development, right? And you look at what Hammy's done with, Cartland here in the past, he started vibe coding this in, 3 months ago, and he's, got some experience. Clearly it's incredible. but this isn't something you could do as an indie developer in probably any other platform, right? And I think that that's one of the superpowers of HYTOPIA, right? Which is,
Herman, I have to go AFK for a minute here. We'll be back very soon, right?
sure.
Sorry, brother.
It's all good.
My food delivery just came. What the fuck? Way ahead of time.
All good, man. It's life.
Yeah, for the record. Okay, we have some new comment here. I think we need to add a kids development thing with just simple blocks and no coding. Yeah, I mean, you could build something in the world builder directly, or just go to a server like this.
You can go to the build server.
There is one, yeah, from Shiha. We can check this out right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll probably even see more of this too, right? There's a lot of people who want to build and just build worlds, environments, and stuff like that. I think that, you know, eventually the team will wake up to it, that's, you know, a big part of game creation, and they'll continue to kind of refine and make the, you know, world builder better. But yeah, I think that you'll have games just like this, right? You just go in there and build it. Again, so place your blocks. It's not like highly complex.
Yeah, here's it. And you see a lot of, so I think most players are currently guest accounts. So I think most players are coming from mobile devices, and they don't even bother to really create an account. So I think most traffic is from guest accounts. But here we can open the menu where we can place some blocks. I mean, this is still pretty basic, but I think it's pretty cool because, yeah, as the Twitch guy here shouted out, Galactic Mouse, yeah, you can just build stuff, cool houses, and I think you can even visit other plots and stuff. So when we go to the guest here, okay, he hasn't built something on here.
Yeah, again, you know, this will become more popular, right? Especially for, you know, kids and stuff like that. And you see all the, you know, antitrust stuff. I mean, there'll be more games like this, probably more, you know, ease of access to the platform as well, to come in here and build and make a game. I mean, the reality is, if you're a kid, you got to learn how to code at some point, or you need to learn how to use AI, right? It just, I mean, making a game, as easy as you want to try to make it, it's still hard to one shot a game. You can make a super simple game, go in the, you know, download the SDK and, you know, use a lot of the tooling there. But yeah, there's always going to be some formation where you do need to learn how to, you know, code a little bit or integrate and use AI. Either way you want to skin that, yeah, you have to use it.
That's true, yeah. So the fastest way to develop a game right now would just to create a map here on the world builder, and then here at the bottom export this one and go to the AI code editor and spin up a bit of code and then publish it. So it's not that complicated.
Yeah, I think look, kids are wizards with technology nowadays, right? Nothing that I could ever even have dreamed about doing. But yeah, kids can definitely do that, right? And they'll be able to go in there, bing, bang, boom, and spin it up and have a really super simple game and be able to play it and be able to share it with their friends. And again, that's one of the beauties of HYTOPIA.
Mm.
However complex you want to make it after that is,
But I think he's definitely right that it could be even more frictionless. So that you just enter a website or something, and yeah, you just build and somehow explain the game code there.
Yeah, I would fully agree. And I think it comes, right? But you also have to, remember that this SDK is only about a year old, right? Go to other development studios that have, they show a lot of their stuff and they're 8 to, 20 years in the making. So give these guys like 1 or 2 more years. I'm sure they'll have the ability to be able to one-shot games as a kid, no file, boom, bang, boom, you're playing it, right? But like even for what they have right now, if we're here to play expectation manager, right? I mean, what you have is pretty impressive, and I guarantee you they have a laundry list of things that they, have to get done, or people come in here and have these conversations like, oh, this would be a great idea. For sure would be, right?
100%, yeah. So the current setup definitely won't be the final stage here.
Oh no, not even remotely, right? I mean, they're making improvements every day. You see Ark in there and those guys, dropping stuff in the the updates in the announcement channel, right? I mean, Token was getting dropped and he was updating the SDK, right? Again, it's just for me, testament to kind of where this platform could and likely will be in a year to two, right? I think that people have, I don't know, become distracted with everything, or they just got tired of life. And like, you look at the growth now and you look at the games that are coming out, right? And there's going to be a ton of new ones coming out as well that are just going to be super fun.
I think so, yeah. But definitely cool to have some comments here from Twitch as well. So the newest game, which is now featured here, is the HYTOPIA game. So this is one of those games which was built by a Roblox developer. So he was part of the creator program. I think they got 25K or so for building out a game on HYTOPIA. And yeah, we can see the growth is insane here. So I think they pinned this game to the top earlier today, and yeah, the CCU numbers is spiking from 5-6 players up to 49 right now, and I think this is the best game at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they've been working on it. I've yet to play it in terms of some other updates, but I'm glad that they've finally got it there.
Okay, another comment here. So it's complex. In devices like a Chromebook, you can't download most types of files, so you can only do half of the work in making a game. So I'm thinking like a simple web version editor for in HYTOPIA.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that gets accomplished in the next year to 2 years, right? The much of the bonuses or the positive side, I think about HYTOPIA is the browser based, right? You're going to look at a lot of different platforms, and you already see with PlayStation and Xbox kind of falling off, right? More people are using Steam Deck and stuff like that now. But one of the biggest things is the ability to use browser, right? Mobile is increasing at an exponential rate. Soon you're going to be doing a lot of stuff through your, VR and through your glasses and stuff like that. Again, most of that's going to be browser based as well, right? This is a platform that's built quite literally for the future, right? So like Elon was on a podcast the other day talking about it, where like you're not even going to have apps anymore. Everything's going to get spun up through kind of, a data center, AI center, right? You'll just go into a Grok, or you'll go into a GPT and you'll, hey, load up HYTOPIA. And HYTOPIA, for what it stands for right now, is probably one of the only platforms that likely could do that, right? You need to go in and download Minecraft. You need to have, Roblox downloaded. You need to have Battlefield downloaded, right? All these different things that are super heavy, GPU processing, and you need a lot of compute power to be able to play them. In HYTOPIA, right, you don't need that. So that's kind of one of the beauties of this thing. And yeah, I'm sure, in the next year or two, right? Again, laundry list of things that need to get accomplished for us to really continue to proliferate HYTOPIA and take this thing into a very viable gaming platform for people. But I guarantee you it comes, right? One of the things that I love most about it is the whole browser compatibility. Browser and mobile, people sleep on it, right? This is the future. Being able to play things one click of the button, super, super efficient on not low end fully yet, but definitely getting better. But I mean, if you have an even decent, Android phone or iPhone or something, I mean, it's seamless, right? You go on the computer, it works great.
Yeah, and for marketing and onboarding, it's so frictionless. You can just share any link on X or on any social media
Yeah,
platform, and
I
you
think,
can
right.
funnel into those players so much easier.
Yeah, people, I think people sleep on that, right? When, marketing and da, right? And this is kind of where the previous gates or previous moats, right, have been created, where like, if you're a big enough platform, right? If you're Minecraft, if you're Roblox, if you're Call of Duty, if you're this, that, or the other thing, right? If you're, whoever, right? You were able to kind of moat yourself off, and you weren't able to really kind of take this viral approach to gaining players, right? And I think that what's going on in the world is you see it with Steam all the time, right? Where an indie game is able to get 100, wish list or 100,000 or 1,000,000 players, right? Bonk was one of them, right? I wouldn't at all be surprised if that same thing happens with HYTOPIA, right? And it takes one or two really, really clicky, really good games, knowing it's on browser and knowing that you can share it quite literally within seconds and be playing it because it's free and requires absolutely nothing and no downloads. All of it, right, adds to the feasibility of being able to see that game really take off and grow into a scale or player base that you've never really seen. And I think it takes a lot less than you think for people to come in and be like, okay, I want to test it, I want to try it, especially if your friends are all doing it, especially if you just continue to see clips on social media about it, right? Like the barriers to entry and the moats that once held all these other gaming platforms to their status quo that they had are all kind of shrinking. And it just becomes, if you can ship it and send it, you can make a fun game and you can make it loopy and you can get it out to people so they can play it and test it. I mean, you're well in front of the battlefield.
Yeah, man. I'm checking out this Portopia game right now, so you can hatch some eggs here, and you have some pets here which follow you, and then you just go to those gold piles here, and then the the pets farm the gold coins for you and can upgrade in game. And the server is pretty stacked, so a lot of players grinding right now. Definitely cool to see. We have a message here. Hey, Adonis HYTOPIA, what happened to the referral boxes? Okay, yeah. HYTOPIA had, I think this was for the beta registrations, had some loot boxes promised, and I think this will come in the marketplace. As far as I know, they will give you some loot box there. And I just saw, I think the marketplace test phase from HYTOPIA is now closed because I cannot access this one right now somehow. So it says coming soon. I think this was all the test items have been tradable until now.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be here soon, right? I think they shut it down yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever, but yeah. So in terms of the, referral boxes and stuff like that, I don't know any timeline about when that's coming, right? I'm sure, again, check the announcements and wait and see. But yeah, I'm sure all of it will get rolled out sooner than later, right? We're in Q4. We're headed towards Christmas holidays. It'd be a perfect time to be able to gift somebody a nice little loot box in HYTOPIA.
Would be sick, man. Yeah, and I also saw some Christmas items already in the new models section.
Yeah, the Christmas model. Smitty's out there making a Santa Claus game, right? So you'll definitely have some of the holiday season coming.
And here's some Xmas stuff as well.
Oh yeah, very nice.
A little present here for everyone. If we need more players, we need less AI slop and add something unique, so that people don't think it's just a stupid Roblox copy with Minecraft in it. Yeah, I mean, not everything from AI is a slop. I think it's just a big leverage point to make game development and everything very, very productive. So
yeah, I think it'll come too, right? The biggest, not the biggest thing, but HYTOPIA is still super young, right? I mean, Roblox is almost 20 years old. So to be able to go there and be like, well, they have a lot more stuff, right? 100% they do, right? They've got developers and they've got players and they've got, I mean, a million ways to monetize that. And I think for HYTOPIA, right, it'll come. And I fully agree. I think a lot of AI is slop right now. And that's just the natural evolution of like in earlier market, right? AI is probably in, I mean, walking up to the batter box in the first inning, although you hear all these people talking about bubbles and stuff like that. But it's truly an incredible technology. And as much as if you want to say it's slop, which I tend to agree, a ton of art, a ton of stuff that is created is just kind of all replications, right? This is kind of where you have to learn to run in order to walk, right? Which is kind of testing all this stuff.
My thumbnail here, for example, was AI generated, and I think it doesn't look that bad. And to be honest, I wouldn't be able to put something together by drawing with hand, man.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. Like if you've never played with it, right? Go play with it, right? If you never built an app, you can go on whatever it is, or you can go on Replit and you can build an app, and you're a developer now, and you can go on HYTOPIA and use the MCP, and you're a game developer now, right? Or you can go on Gemini, you can go on ChatGPT, you can build anything, right? I'm not saying it's of the quality that an actual professional in their field can do, but yeah, it definitely helps, and it'll get better. You'll have a lot less slop eventually, right? Like the market, be it a gaming market, be it any market in the world, will eventually always weed everything out. So you end up with, the best of the best, and all of the rest will kind of, fall to the wayside, and that'll be exactly what it needs to be. But yeah, for now, I mean, you'll definitely probably have what more people call slop until it, continues to get better and better and better. And then the next thing you know, you're like, holy cow, this was, made or assisted by AI. And it won't have as negative as a connotation as it has right now. That's the way I see it. But it all takes time, right?
Here on Twitch, we have a comment. People are out there stealing YouTube thumbnails for HYTOPIA thumbnails.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. Nothing I can do about that. I mean, I'd love to say don't do it and be more original. And I'm sure, it gets to a point where it surely is. But, people will be peoples and, take whatever they want.
You're here as well, right?
I'm here, man. I'm in Germany hanging out.
It's a full-blown lag for you, probably.
Honestly, it's great. I think that mine actually is better than what it looks like on the stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when I join a US server or something, the lag is pretty intense, to be honest.
Really? Yeah, sometimes I get really lucky. I mean, I've played when we were doing a bunch of tests for Boxfire Deathmatch, I was playing a lot of games in Germany and Brazil and then in the Philippines, and the servers weren't actually that bad. So yeah, I mean, it's just attemptedly trying to optimize, right? It'll always work better if you can play in, your server region, but yeah, it's not terrible.
Yeah, and I think they should definitely add some more locations. So I saw a lot of African players recently complaining about the issues. So maybe they should drop another location there as well.
Yeah, I mean, my assumption would be that they will, right? Get more gamers, get more developers, right? I think it's just a growth issue. We just need more players to be able to, make it worthwhile to get more servers. But you can see it happening and it's coming, and I'm sure we'll have more, right? You probably come here and look in December, I'm sure we'll have even more servers, and then in February, March, we'll have even more servers, right? Every couple months they'll have to, scale up. Good problems to have, right?
For sure, man. I think the last was the Philippine server in Manila.
Yep.
And yeah, it definitely makes sense to double down on those markets, which are obviously working. So I will open the sand world here. Let's purchase with holding E. So I'm unlocking a new area here in this game. Teleport. Which connects you to another area here. We could also look at the current price here of Hybox. Yo, going up here. 15% up on the day. So definitely good to see another spike here.
Yeah, it's nice to see it all come together, right? Again, I personally don't like to talk about the token as much anymore, just because I think the token will prove itself out over enough time, right? Like everything's a guessing mechanism until it turns into a weighing mechanism, right? And for HYTOPIA, it needs to prove itself, right? And I think that's what's happening, right? And I think it'll go through these different iterations of being like, hey, as a platform, we want to see gamers, and we've got it. Heck, 300,000 in a month. That's pretty dang good. I mean, what's crazy is we're par value. We have more concurrent users in a single day than some of the biggest platforms, right? Bigger than Decentraland, bigger than Sandbox, bigger than a lot of these guys who are valued at 300 to 500 million. Again, we're biting at the chomp, but this is very much still a David and Goliath story, right? And if you look at it too, I mean, we're one of the only projects when they redid the tokenization, give back to the NFT holders or digital collectible holders, where we want to make sure that we give back to the community. And if you are an investor, right, and this is my single favorite part of HYTOPIA, is that if you get a world, the nodes in theory are a little bit more of a burn mechanism, but you can get a gray boy or an avatar or something like that as well. You are directly now a co-owner in the HYTOPIA ecosystem. Right? You get marketplace fees, you get secondary fees. Those will get deposited into your, staking pools. And it's a absolutely wild metric to think about, right? That if you build a game or if you proliferate or post about it or help, take this thing viral, that you have potential to share in the actual platform. I think it's 15% of marketplace fees or something like that. I mean, if the project makes 100 million, right, you as a net co-owner, right, all sharing a pool of, let's say, 15 million or something like that, right? So the incentive and the alignments are probably the coolest and the best utility that I think there is in all of the Web3 crypto space. And again, it's not forced down your throat, right? HYTOPIA is very much, let's build fun games, let's have an incredible platform that should have been built a long time ago, and then on the subsequent side of it, it's okay, awesome. We can also have a project that probably has the best utility for anybody who actually wants to be involved in that side, right? So if you help build this, if you help share, right, you're going to be able to partake in honestly quite a bit of the profits and the growth that takes place. So it's just one of the coolest things to actually, see happen in real time and kind of see the growth that is taking place. And then you're going to be able to look at that token, in my humble opinion, and be like, yeah, this has the potential to probably be the number one token, absolutely crush any metrics of what Axie did, even during its prime time, top move. And it seems like a bold statement, right? But in coming months, I wouldn't be surprised if we have, over 100,000 concurrent daily users, which is just going to start to shatter metrics, right? Monetization comes if we're able to have, some teams that are actually making money, then I think that that's a huge sell as well, right? So all these things are definitely going to kind of come together. And I know I just said I don't like talking about it, but yeah, if you're in that side of wanting to speculate a little bit on the token, right? This is a project now that is backed by numbers, right? This isn't maybe one day we'll have some players, right? Like you log into the Germany server right now and there's 20 to 30 players running around collecting coins with their little pets, right? It's happening. So yeah, I think if you pair the actual growth in the game side. And if we continue to really kind of do exactly what we need to do, which is build fun games, make the SDK better, make the tooling better, of course, loop it in, and then we have the gamers that come to match. I think that you have, from a developer side, just as equal an opportunity to really attract some incredible people and grow a platform, knowing that you have direct involvement and ownership in it, right? Why wouldn't you want to build a game, try to make money off the game? Again, if you see the platform grow, you're making money off the platform by owning a world, right? I just don't think that there's a single project out there that has the same valuable utility that HYTOPIA has right now. And it still doesn't mean a lot because monetization hasn't been rolled out. So people might go, well, they haven't actually made any money from it, but it's coming. And I think it comes in a massive wave. And I think people are generally going to be shocked by it.
Yeah, because most people here are building for fun, right? Or are here via the creative program. So I think monetization is definitely
yeah, right. There's a certain alignment. There's a certain alignment that's with it, right? Sure, you know, we could say we're growing for fun, right? And I mean, I think if you're an early developer, you know, you're probably a developer because you loved the idea of what HYTOPIA could be and kind of where it is now. And I think you also have the subset of like, hey, if we can help, you know, grow this, right? Then, you know, you have potential to be kind of an early developer in the platform, right? It's the same reason that, you know, we spun up NeuralPixel and we're like, hey, we're going to build this game. We got a ton of games in the pipeline as well, which is, hey, if we can help HYTOPIA grow, right? It doesn't help me to buy tokens, right? But it does help to actually build games that people can play and enjoy, right? And that's, you know, for me, been the North Star, which is like less focus on all of that side and a lot more focus on how do you become a developer and how do you actually try to grow HYTOPIA as a platform. That's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. Here in the chat, I think the problem with Robux is that it costs money and we can't earn it with skill. Yeah, so it's definitely very consumer facing.
I mean, yeah, high bucks will likely be a similar thing though, right? I mean, it's gonna cost money, and again, this isn't like a play to earn Ponzi thing here. I think people need to make sure that you keep that in mind too, right? We're not Roblox, we're not Minecraft, we're not any of these other ones, right? We're HYTOPIA, and just as much as those games have in-game currencies that you're able to buy items or level up or whatever, you know, your game is, it's going to be eerily similar.
Yeah. He added a suggestion, a feature where a rare chance of $5 will respond. Yeah, that's probably unlikely. But
yeah, I think if you spin up a server, right? If you're a game developer and you want to spin up your own server and you want to give $5 or you want to give money away free to players, again, more power to you, right? You're going to 100% be able to do that, right? But it's not going to come out of anybody's pocket but your own. So like, just keep that in mind. Again, right? This is a legitimate gaming platform where you're not necessarily going to be paid to play, right? Maybe some servers do that as incentive rewards for, you know, a season or something like that. Or like if there's a tournament that goes out, right? Like we've, you know, talked about doing some Voxfire tournaments, and I'm sure there'll be a prize pool because we want to make it a little more sweaty and competitive, right? 5v5 teams, you want to have a little bit of incentive to actually play and be kind of serious, right? But by no means are you ever going to show up and just for playing, we're going to give away free money.
That'd be awesome, man.
It'd be cool, right? But in every world and every facet, that doesn't work as a business model. We've seen it play out for 3 years, and 100% of the time, every single project's gone under. So reality is you can't give away free money all the time and expect to be able to grow.
But a Twitch stream or something with 5 professional players against 5 other ones.
No, we're gonna host a tournament or two here, and we're gonna, you know, get a pretty large sizable amount of players, streamers, and others. And again, you just need to pick your team of 5 and then submit it, and then you'll be able to get kind of put into the tournament draft. And then, you know, whether it's single or, you know, 2-match elimination, there'll 100% be a prize pool at the end of it, right? So again, it's a little bit more competitive than kind of just like all of these super casual games, which again are awesome. I think gaming is, you know, kind of making a move away from the highly competitive nature, right? I don't think, and there'll always be people who love it, right? But I think the stress of being a competitive gamer is really high. A lot more people love the casual stuff, but yeah, we'll definitely be hosting tournaments, you know, likely soon in the coming months for Voxfire and for some other stuff that, we release. So yeah, stay tuned, I should say.
Yeah, I would definitely like to join such a tournament. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have some announcements. There'll 100% be a little bit of a prize pool again, whether it's actual high bucks or I've spun around giving it to a charity at probably even a higher dollar amount, because I think it does more better. Look, if you're in this space, you're probably doing semi okay. We want you to come and play and have fun, and we'd love for you to win, but we'd rather give that money to a great cause, right? A lot of people out there who are ill or suffering who could use that funds, but again, that's all all kind of minutia in the detail, but yeah.
Yeah, man. So another question here. It's common in all games, but it's a very rare chance to spawn. I think he's referring to the to the high bucks drops in the games. But I think,
again, I'll say that I think there's a
spawn.
Yeah, I think there's a very low chance in most games that you're going to
some Easter egg, some hidden high bucks somewhere.
Hey, look, it's almost Christmas. Maybe you'll find a little gift from Adonis, and he'll put a couple high bucks in there for you.
Damn it! I think this HYTOPIA is not that bad.
No, it's gotten a lot better. I think from the first kind of iteration round.
Not too
a
impressive.
lot of people played it.
But now, destroying all those gold piles and collecting them, pretty cool. And the progression system is also more advanced now. So I think this could do well in the next few days and weeks. Maybe they could even pin it at the top, maybe, because they have now more than Cartland.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Again, it's always impressive to look at a game like HYTOPIA Alpha, Cartland Alpha, right? Like these started being made, a month, 3 months ago, and to see kind of where they come, right? It's going to be super exciting to see, God willing, right, as more and more experienced developers come, that they're able to kind of push out even better games, right? Not to say that these aren't great, because I think everybody has a chance of becoming super viral, having a brain rot moment or having a, grow garden moment, stuff like that. And just what's actually produced on a platform like HYTOPIA, where it was literally designed to be made where you can come in, whether you're an experienced developer or not, you can spin up a game. It doesn't take a ton of, money, just a little bit of time and a little bit of energy to be able to come up with a good loop. And then you can get it on the HYTOPIA platform. You can get it in front of players to test it, and you can figure out what you need to do.
You guys pay for your own game. Not sure what you're exactly meaning here.
I mean, I pay for my own game, right? We're a self-funded studio at Neural Pixel. So yeah, again, we've received zero funding from HYTOPIA, and we continue to build games. So yeah, we pay for our own games, if that is. And a lot of these guys do, right? I mean, many of these people, whether it was, Faxi before Faxi did, or whether it was Shrimp before he did Sky Garden, whether it's Hammy, for Cartland, Schmitty launching his games. A lot of the people on here, everybody's working a 9 to 5. Everybody's a full-time worker. Very few of these people are full-time developers, right? No, like for $100. No, nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting paid $100 for these.
Not yet. But the monetization will definitely change the incentive structure a lot. And I also heard about the endorsement system. So investors or everyone will be able to basically sponsor talented game developers and bet on them, basically. And
I mean, it's a really cool concept, right? Mr. Beast used to talk about it a little bit, and this was part of the whole creator coins that I just think that they got really wrong, because in this space it's really tricky to figure that out. But being able to actually endorse and back a project that can actually earn money, right, is a completely viable and feasible opportunity, right? If I say, hey, I think Adonis is a pretty incredible builder, I want to, back him with $5,000, it's cool, right? And you can then kind of earn some, rev load from the model, or however they end up structuring this in a game, right? But you're able to now back some of your favorite people, right? I mean, whether or not you look at HYTOPIA as a platform, being able to be like, hey, how cool would it have been to be able to be an early investor in Minecraft or Roblox or Roblox or Fortnite or something like that, and see the platform grow, right? Eerily similar to be able to own an HYTOPIA world and be like, hey, we get 15% of all the revenue that's created from this over the years. Incredible. Now you're a part-time owner. Now, even better yet, right? If you didn't want to partake in any of those things, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you want to come in here and back some of your favorite creators, right? Like go and look at Roblox and some of those games. I mean, there's games on there that make those developers make over $100 million a year, $10 million, $1 million a year, right? If you could help fund that and get, kind of in an early stage of some of the people that you think are the best, right? Why wouldn't you, right? Again, it's all about breaking down the barriers. I think from a gaming side, HYTOPIA does an incredible thing where you're able to come in and, you can build games and you can be a gamer or a developer, right? And I think, HYBUCks and on that kind of side within the, back end crypto angle really just decentralizes finance to say, hey, there's so many times in the world of modern day finance where you're not going to be able to invest. You look at artificial intelligence, you look at robotics, you look at all these things that have these closed IPOs. The average Joe Schmo, right, myself included, you don't get the opportunity to invest in these things, right? So being able to say, hey, if you come to HYTOPIA, you're going to be able to, potentially invest in what you think could be the future. It's incredible, right? You're breaking down walls and really doing things that have never been done before. So it's fun. I think it's an incredible loop. I think that the team has really thought pretty diligently and pretty incredibly about how all of these things can come together, right? What, of course, can make for an incredible gaming experience, what can make for an incredible developer experience, and then what can, of course, make for an incredible, if you want to be an investor, what can actually make for an incredible investing experience, right? If you want to back some of these awesome builders.
Yo, do changes for HYBUCks. So I think Hercules is doing some in the future for sure, as we heard previously.
Challenges for HYBUCks. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you just keep tabs on NeuroPixel event for Voxfire, we're going to be running some tournaments here. I mean, in the not so distant future. Again, by no means do you just load up and you're going to get money. Again, we are not a pay to play to earn or do anything like that platform. But yeah, we will be hosting some tournaments, trying to make them, as big as we can get, because we love some of the sweaty competitive nature of FPS games. A lot of us come from CSGO or Call of Duty, early, Battlefield, stuff like that. So we'd love to get a little bit more intense and stuff that isn't, just as casual. So yeah, it'll be coming. Stay tuned. You can go on X and follow us at NeuroPixel, or just, join the Discord, or I'm sure, Adonis he'll be part of the tournament. So you'll be able to hear from him as well.
Yo, definitely give them a follow here. NeuroPixel AI.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of new games coming out, over the next year as well. So again, fun stuff that should be pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some arcade preview or something like that, right?
Oh yeah. The arcade will be. Yep. We're gonna be working to get the arcade out pretty soon. It's just, again, just like what Voxfire was, which was, hey, we want to see what the HYTOPIA platform can do in terms of, getting NPCs and pathfinding and stuff like that. Complexity of building it, maybe a little bit too complex of a game to start off with, but one of the same things that we thought about with arcade was, hey, how do you come in here and just build things that you might not think you're able to build, be it from mapping, be it from arcade games, be it from all these kind of mini things that you're able to plug and play. And one of our goals is always just, hey, we want to see what we can do in terms of pushing the boundaries of what the HYTOPIA platform can do, because that's where the best innovation and likely the next future viral game comes from, right? Which is something the world just hasn't seen yet. And you have to take that risk and you have to build it. But yeah, it's going to be incredible. Arcade's going to be super fun. Tons of little, mini games within the arcade. And then of course we'll have, level systems and ticket systems and all sorts of different things that, you can kind of get along the way. So yeah, I mean, one of the games that's in the pipeline.
Yeah, man. So thank you. Definitely thank you for joining me here. Not sure how much time you have. I will definitely stick around for a few minutes to play some games here. but definitely awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I got a couple minutes. We could jump on like Cartland. We could play some Cartland, or we could play some Boxfire Deathmatch or whatever you want. You want to do some Cartland?
Cartland was a little bit laggy for me. We can do Voxfire if you want.
All right, yeah. You want to do Deathmatch? Let's just do Deathmatch. You want to do German server?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
If you don't mind. So you can join me here as well. Because some are asking how do I join. So just go to hytopia.com/games and then here the Voxfire Deathmatch, and be sure to connect to the Germany server here, which is the most crowded one. 12 players in Germany alone. Pretty stacked. And there you can join us here.
Adonis, you're probably gonna have tons of kills because I bet you're playing a bunch of mobile players.
And you have some kill a guest account here. Maybe we can zoom in here a bit. You killed me. Damn.
But no, yeah, I mean, Voxfire Deathmatch is just a little bit more cracky action versus actual Voxfire, which is a little bit more competitive 5v5, and you get 10v10 modes that you might be able to get pushed in the future. But both of them super fun, kind of just where we come from as a developer studio. And then we're going to be rolling out some more casual games here soon. So,
dope animation when you switch the this looks awesome.
Yeah, I think that it'll be even better too. I know Faxy's pushing a FPS animation pack, so probably better reloads, better gun exchanges, better different, all of the above.
Let's go. I mean, shooters seem to be pretty popular in the dev community. All your loot and Ashoka as well is doing a shooter game, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Santa Claus game one, and she's got what is it?
Sky Siege.
Sky Siege, which is actually done pretty well too. I mean, almost pushing 100K plays.
Yeah, and I think this was not even pinned to the top, so this got a bunch of traction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm #2 here with 11K points. Let's go to the AK-47. And it's just, the goal is to farm as many kills as possible in this time frame, or what's the...
Yeah, that's the goal for right now. We'll eventually be putting in some different leveling and ranking systems so you want to play longer, get some different rewards, maybe some different skins, stuff like that. But
for the deathmatch version, I think this is definitely good.
Oh yeah, just play number one, if you're first person the most kills, whatever that is.
And you have some Discord links and X links as well here. Yeah.
If you want to, go and follow them or join the Discord. Always updating and posting new stuff in them.
I also included some social channels inside the game. This is pretty a no-brainer to bring those players from guest accounts to
I think it'll come, right? I think the guest accounts are perfect because it allows you to come in and get a play, right? And as HYTOPIA gets a little bit older, as all of our games get a little bit better, right? Because again, remember, early adoption for a lot of these games, most of them are, first-time developers and stuff like that. So the retention and loops are definitely going to get better. And for, hey, we've got a bunch of, guest accounts and stuff like that. What you're going to eventually have is probably, some sort of HYTOPIA ranking system and stuff like that, which makes you want to actually have an account, right? So kind of just it'll again be just kind of the iteration of how all of this stuff happens. And, the move and the shift from, as a guest, you're probably not going to be able to have all of your equipment equipped or like all of your skins and stuff like that equipped. You'll eventually just not be forced to make an account, but you'll definitely want to make an account. So yeah, again, it'll come, right?
Yeah, and I think the cosmetics and stuff definitely look better than the regular skin. So they definitely see that the normal accounts just look better with their own identity and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it, and that'll be a big thing too, right? The customization of being able to have your own skins, being able to, tell your own story, right? And whether it's just, in your server or whether it's a global marketplace, I think that, knowing that there's likely going to be an infinite amount of combinations, right? Every week that goes on, you're going to have more people coming here wanting to make some cosmetics. As long as you, align with the global cosmetic marketplace, you're going to be able to create your own skin. You're going to be able to create your own look that nobody else will be able to have. I love it. I'm pretty excited for it.
For sure, man. Oh, I just got smoked by Galactic, I think. Pretty enjoyable, I think. So I'm not that first-person shooter guy, to be honest, but this is implemented insanely good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's again, it was, that's the reason why we have it. That's the reason why we love HYTOPIA. You'll have a million different games, and
Yeah, man.
as long as you get on HYTOPIA, you'll be able to find the game that you want to play. You'll be able to, find the one that you like.
Every
More casual, more
will be on
AFK.
HYTOPIA.
Yeah, exactly. Fishing games coming, hunting games coming. Yeah, I mean, world's your oyster. Come over, build games on HYTOPIA. That's the news for today.
Mm. But I really think it's because now with all these players coming, you definitely have distribution on your games. So if you even spin up a shitty game right now, in a low effort way, in 1 or 2 hours, you would get thousands of players with this, I think. And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely getting better, and I think the really the last piece of the puzzle will be monetization, right? If you're a developer and you know that you're able to develop a game, and then number two, you're able to be able to make some money off of it. As much as we want to say we make them all for fun, right? There's a certain reality that rents due and bills need to get paid. But once you're able to monetize, right, you're going to be able to loop into kind of the the networking network, right? Which is, hey, you need to start posting a little bit more on socials. You need to start sharing it, right? You're going to want to take your content, your game a little bit more viral. So yeah, just like you said, where you're even able to spin up a game, and get a little bit going, and get a little bit going right now, just as much as you're going to be able to, you're going to want to spin up a game, and then you're going to want to market that game. And it's just, again, the flywheel's really only just getting started.
that's true, yeah. The flywheel.
Right now, right? You spin up a game and you're doing it for fun and you're getting clicks. Soon you'll be able to potentially make money off of that, right? As a developer. And again, it's not the only thing that you want to, do. We're here for bigger and better purposes. But yeah, it's definitely a big thing if you're a game developer.
Mm-hmm. And I think how it will work in the early stage, you can just sell, similar to Roblox, something in game. So maybe some revive button for high bucks or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different loops as a game developer, right? Revive, anything that saves you time, right? If you're doing an MMORPG, you can do quick travel, you can do mounts. Of course, you'll have your cosmetics, right? I mean, re-up in your potions or your heals, or there's so many different ways, right? That don't turn it into what people hate, which is pay to win, right? Where you're able to kind of pay and get these better items, but it's just kind of something that it saves you time and it's not super expensive, right? I think that gaming as a vertical, right, somewhere along the line kind of lost itself, where everything became this kind of pay to win and it was super expensive. And I think that, it's definitely an aspect of it, but being able to go in there, and if you want to spend a little bit of money, you're able to have fun. You don't have any money to spend, you can still have fun, right? And that's kind of the beauty of gaming. Kept many of us in it for our whole lives.
Okay, so we are closing in on the hour here.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I appreciate you having me. Holy cow,
man,
30 kills.
Was awesome for sure. And in tomorrow's stream, so at the same time at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I will talk to HYTOPIA co-founder Temp Tranquil. So I'm also excited for this one. So make sure to tune in there today. And yeah, Herc, thanks a lot for joining. Was an awesome convo, man.
Hey, no, I appreciate you having me. Sorry for, blabbering on an hour about, God knows what.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
if you're listening to this today, definitely tune in tomorrow. I had no idea that you're doing one with Temp. So do a little post. I'll make sure to repost that. But yeah, hopefully you have some good questions and you have a great stream with him. I know there's a ton of relevant and great info that's going to be coming out, right? Especially for HYTOPIA, because stuff's quite literally in overdrive. I can only imagine how hard those guys are working to get everything out to the world. So yeah, have a great stream tomorrow. I appreciate you for having me on. And yeah, make sure you follow Adonis, give him a like, show him some love. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. And also make sure to follow Hercules as well here. Here's his X account. Posted tons of stuff here.
Yeah, don't mind me. It's all jargon. But no, yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, again, end of the day, right? What do we want to see? I'm a big believer in HYTOPIA. I think that as a platform that these are a group of developers, not only within the team, be it Temp and Arc and, Faxi, Dan and, Rich and all these guys that are just incredibly talented. But I think it's just as equally on the, the small indie side, right? Yourself, the guys at Sky Garden, Ashoka, be it Shrimp or Hammy or Cartland or any of these people, anybody who's been in the ecosystem, who's made content or made a game, right? And you've done it for the right reasons. And I think that, the community is just a brilliant little kind of melting pot of amazing developers who are, making this kind of gaming platform that we're able to kind of use. And then just an amazing set of creators, right? People like yourself and, all the people who are making games or making content or, spinning up different things, right? You've got HYDEX on the financial side, right? You had Gabe with Blocksmith. You have, I know Ashoka was working on a placeholder thing, right? You've got Smitty with his website. You've got, what is it? The HYDEX thing that has, or not HYDEX, but whatever it is that has all the, you just had it pulled up.
At the HYTO Hub.
Yeah. There you go. Right. All these kind of incredible, we're really third-party apps, right? So I think that, the world will start to kind of realize, hey, this whole community, right? Us as the kind of proper community, and then the development team is kind of their own, community, all kind of coming together. We're really a pretty cohesive and I mean, impressive force. And I think it'll continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the world will really start to take notice, right? So just, big kudos. And, I just can't really say thanks enough for the team for kind of sticking it out, building something, and you're really starting to see it come to life. And, just as much as to all the people who are in the community and all the people who will find it in the future, a massive shout out and a massive thank you to everybody who's been building on the sides, right? Working your 9 to 5s and coming home and doing this at night, or, doing this on the weekend, or you got a kid on your lap, or whatever whatever the cause may be. I'll, forever be grateful for everybody and, guys like you who continue to kind of spread the good news. So yeah, I mean, onward and upward, it's pretty exciting times for HYTOPIA. If you, don't know about them, jump on to HYTOPIA.com and just play a little bit. If you have questions about, the other side of it, feel free to shoot me a DM or shoot Adonis a message or something. And, I'm sure we'll definitely be able to kind of, steer you in the right direction. If you have questions about HYBUCKS, you have questions about HYTOPIA and that, the kind of growth of that asset place, because I genuinely think we'll be one of the number one gaming platforms in the world. And it's just going to be something that's built on the blockchain rails, right? The future is kind of coming, and it's not so much, black and white anymore, where people like this or like that. Eventually everything turns into one place, and that's kind of what we're building for. So yeah, I mean, give us a couple months, give us another year. I think, we're going to be here to knock your socks off. Everybody's got tons of games coming. Team's got tons of improvements coming. So if there's one place you want to be plugged in for, looking for exciting things, massive growth, massive numbers, this is the place. Don't blink, you might miss it.
Yo, the OGs will be remembered forever. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and see you tomorrow.
See you, gang.